Hey guys, it's Shamsa and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be showing you how I make 3 different types of paratha. So you've got a basic paratha, which I'll be showing you how I make, which I normally make at home. The second one is going to be a Lacha paratha, which has all the swirls and is really nice and crisp and crunchy. And the third one is a square paratha for all of those that can't get that perfect round shape. So easy, so simple to make and using all the same ingredients. So let me run through what you need and then we'll start cooking. So the ingredients you're going to need are 2 mugs of chapati flour. Now I'm just using elephant atta here, medium. You can use whichever you prefer to eat at home. And these mugs equate to 250 ml. So it's going to be 500 milliliters or 500 grams of atta, should I say. I've got lukewarm water here to knead the dough with. I've got some butter which I've melted. This is salted butter I'm using. And I've also got some salted butter which I haven't melted because we're making parathas 3 ways. I'm going to show you how to make them. And we also need a silicone brush, or you can use a spoon when we come to put the clarified butter on. So let's start cooking. Right, to prepare the dough, what we're going to do is we're just going to take our warm water and we're just going to make a little well in the middle first of all, so it will just house the water, and just add that in. And you don't want to add too much in, so a small amount at a time, and then we can always add more in, and just bring the flour together into the water. And if by accident you do actually make the dough slightly sticky by adding a little extra amount of water in, don't panic. Just add a little bit more flour into it until you get the right sort of like texture of the flour, and you'll be perfectly fine. There's nothing to worry about. And just small amounts of water into this and just bring it together, work it really nicely. So you can see I've got dry bits there. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit more water into this and just keep working at it until I have a really smooth, soft dough and no dry flour. So just a little bit more again. Add small amounts in, just go around like that. Make sure you take off all that flour from the edges. Just take it off my hands as well, like that. And then what you want to do is you want to take a little bit of water and just palm of your hand like that. And we're going to knead the dough now. And that will help it to sort of like become sort of like elasticy and smooth as well at the same time. Okay. And basically that is your dough all ready for your parathas. And I'm just going to get a little bit of water and just pop that on top like that and just push down. And I'm going to let that rest for about half an hour. I'm going to pop a tea towel over the top of it and just let that rest. And then after 30 minutes, it's going to be ready to use, and I'm going to show you how to make your 3-way parathas. So I'll see you guys back in 30 minutes time. Right, okay, 30 minutes later, and what we're going to do is we're going to give this one final sort of like kneading. So we're going to take some water and just put that into the middle of our hand and just knead it now. And what this will do is this will just bring all those ingredients, which is just basically the water and the flour, together, and just give you a really nice, soft, pliable dough that you can work with. And that's all it needs doing, really. So you can see the texture of that dough has changed. It's gone really nice and smooth. So I'm just going to pop that back in there again, like that. Just cover it and just pop that to the side. And now we are going to start making our paratha. Right, so the first paratha out of the three that we're going to make is the one that I normally make at home, and my mum used to make it like this. It's a 2 dough ball paratha, sort of like a sandwich paratha with butter in the middle of it. I've got my rolling pin here, which I'm just going to pop to the side. I've got some chapati flour dry in a bowl here, which we're going to be using because when we come to make the paratha, we need to use the flour. And I've also got the butter, which we haven't melted. We're going to be using that. So the first thing we need to do is we need to dip our hand and fingers in the dry chapati flour, and then we're going to take 2 sort of like golf-sized balls of dough. So just pop that in there, and then get my other one as well, same amount roughly, and just pop them in there, and we're just going to form sort of like a ball. So just get the right hand and just push. So roll and push in the middle, roll and push, and use this left hand, the palm of the left hand, to do that. You can make them however you want to. I mean, everyone forms them differently. This is the way I do them. So just roll and push and roll and push. And if you go around doing that, what that will do is that will actually give you the seal thing in the middle. And all you need to do is just pinch it in the middle, turn it over, and just sort of like roll it in your left palm, and you're going to have a really nice dough ball there. Oops, just falling down there. And I'm just going to pop that into some flour, just give the base a bit of a flour, and just pop that to the side so it doesn't stick. And I'm going to do the same thing, and actually that feels a little bit more than the other one. And I'm just going to do the same thing again, just roll, push and roll straight into the middle, and that will form your little dough ball. And then just turn it over, and you have your perfect ball there. So that's 2 dough balls, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move everything to the side, just pop that here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take our dough ball and we're just going to pop it into the dry flour and just push down like that. So we're going to form like a roti. So it's just going to be a chapati that we're going to make first of all. I'm going to do the same thing here as well. So that gives me 2 of the same shaped dough balls here. Right, just pop that there. I'm going to get my rolling pin, just pop one to the side, and now we're going to just roll and form a roti, which is roughly the size of maybe a side plate. So like that. And then I'm just going to pop that to the side, and I'm going to do the same again like that. This is probably one of the easiest parathas you can make. And then you get 2 of them together, and all we're going to do, and this butter is at room temperature, and we're just going to get this, and we're just going to pop little blobs on one side of the roti, and we're just going to make sure we do a nice sort of like distribution of butter like that, and that's going to give a really nice sort of like soft buttery paratha. There we are. The reason why I don't add melted butter into this kind of paratha, the 2 dough ball paratha, is because it'll just end up sort of like moving around and not forming properly. So that's how my mum always used to do this. And then you take the second rolled out chapati and you just pop that on top. You've obviously seen me do this in my previous video where I made the cheese, onion and potato paratha, and this is exactly how I filled them. So once you've done that, you've sealed it, you pop the other one on top, just grab some plain flour and just dust the surface and then pop that on. Just give that a whirl around in that. You might need to put a little bit more on top like that. And then we're going to roll it out to our desired size. Like that. That is perfect for me. And now we are going to cook the paratha. So I'm just going to move my camera back towards the hob and I'll show you how to do that. Right, to make the paratha, I'm actually using a crepe pan and not a tawa because on a ceramic hob, I don't find a tawa works really well. So I've got myself a crepe pan and it's nice and hot to the touch. And to that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my butter here just on a knife and I'm just going to smear that all over first of all, and it's quite nice and hot, the pan, so I'm just going to smear that all over and just let that heat up. And then I'm going to take my paratha and I'm just going to add that straight in like that. Just about fits. So once in the pan, we're going to cook this for 2 to 3 minutes approximately on each side. So once the bottom's done, you can see that the colour has started to change right on top there. All of that will change. What we'll do is once that's done, we'll apply a layer of butter on top, and then we'll flip it over and cook the other side. And my heat setting is on 7 at the moment, which is a medium to high heat setting. And once this is done, I'll show you guys how it looks. Right, you can see that the colour has changed completely on the top. And to that, what we're going to do is we're going to take some butter. Again, just use the same butter again. That's how I do it. And I just kind of smear it all over the top like that. And then we're going to be ready to flip it over. So I'm just going to try and get to this, just to gently flip it over. And that looks wonderful. So 2 to 3 minutes on this side as well. And I'm just going to swap this wooden thing for just a normal sort of like silicone spatula, just so I can press down around the edges to get it really nice and crisp. And you can just see that it's cooking away really, really nicely. And we're just going to keep sort of like moving it around in there. I'm going to flip it over in a sec so you can see. And the point is now that we are trying to sort of like cook it so it's nice and crispy all over. Keep pushing down and then just lift up and just flip it over again. And we're going to do that at least 2 to 3 times until everything is nicely crisp and cooked properly. And you want like patches like that all over. I've just turned my heat setting down to a 6 because I don't want to burn this. And there we have it, guys. That paratha is all ready. I'm just going to turn my hob off and I'm just going to take this out and pop it into a plate and just set that aside. So there you have it, guys. The first paratha out of the 3 to be made. So simple and easy. So let's move on to the second paratha. Right, the second paratha that we're going to be making is the Lacha paratha. So for that, again, same equipment, flour, dry flour, but melted butter and silicone brush, and obviously rolling pin. So go in again into the dry flour and take a decent amount of dough, and you're talking quite a decent amount. So basically 2 dough balls that we use more or less for one of these. So just make sure I've got that. That's it. And again, just do the same process again. Just make the dough ball like that. And then pop it into the dry flour. And we're going to just pop that to the side, just make some room. Just pop that down there as well. And I'm going to roll the roti out until it's like quite big in shape. Just add a little bit more flour there on top of that to stop it from sticking. So just going to use both hands because I can't flip it with one hand. So once you've got this, oops, sorry, it kind of is sticking. There we are, like that. And what you want to do is you want to get your butter and you want to get your brush, and you're going to just brush that on all the way around the roti. Make sure that's nicely covered to make your Lacha paratha, like that. Beautiful. Pop that to the side. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take a good pinch of just the plain dry flour, and you're going to just dust that all over like that. And what the flour does is it'll stop it from slipping. There we are, nicely done. And what you want to do to make your Lacha paratha, what you want to do is you want to just take the dough and you want to start by just rolling it like that. So just roll. Might get a bit sticky. Don't worry if it's not in proportion and it just looks a bit messy, it will turn out perfect once we are finished with it. And then we're going to just do this. I'm just going to roll it basically. Should have floured the base actually, I completely forgot to do that. And then just roll that. So it's like a Swiss roll. But you can see as you get on, it's going to be perfectly fine. It's just getting it to that sort of like shape first. It gets a bit easier once you get on. Just lift it up, just make it a bit easy like that. Okay, and then just do that. And then we're just going to roll it like that. So there we are, we've got a really long rolled out sort of like dough piece here. And then you're just going to make a little, you're going to go around swirling this. So just take the end and just keep just rolling it in itself. So a bit like a cinnamon roll. And just keep doing that. So you can see that's just taking its shape really, really nicely. No hard work at all, like that. Just press down. And what you want to do with this end here, you want to take it and you just want to bring it round like that, wrap it round, and then just tuck it right underneath like that. So it's hidden. And then just press down. And then I'm going to take my flour here and I'm just going to dip that into the dry flour. And then we're going to start rolling our Lacha paratha. And even though, I don't know if you can see here, but it has sort of like a lovely pattern here. I don't know if you can really see if, in the video, but it's got a lovely pattern of those little swirls going all the way around. And it will show more once you've cooked it. So I'm just going to roll it out there like that. And now it's time to cook this. So let me just move the camera over to show you how to cook the Lacha paratha. Right, okay, once again, pan nice and hot, whatever you're using, tawa, pan, entirely up to you. I'm using my crate pan, heat setting on 6, medium heat setting. I'm going to take the butter, the melted butter this time. So I'm just going to use the same one. And I'm just going to smear the pan with that. Just let that heat up. And then bring over my paratha and just pop it straight in like that. And I'm just going to turn the heat setting up to 7 and I'm just going to allow that to cook. Same process again, 2 to 3 minutes on one side, then butter the top again and flip it over and cook it. Again, we're going to be doing the same process, just push down with the flat sort of like spatula and just keep cooking it until it's nice and crispy and golden brown. And I'll show you how it looks once it's done. Perfect, that is cooked perfectly. Just going to give it a minute or so, just so the other side is nice and crispy. Just turn the hob off. Just going to give it one final coating of butter and just take it off. Look at that, beautiful. And that is the second paratha, the Lacha paratha. So easy and simple to make. And now we're going to move on to the third paratha. Okay, so the third paratha I'm showing you how to make is a square paratha, which is quite easy to make. I mean, if you struggle to get round paratha, this is the perfect paratha to make, which is the square shaped one. So again, all we need is our plain flour, dry. We've got our roti atta, which we've made. You need the melted butter, the silicone brush and your rolling pin. So again, just go in, dip your hands in the dry flour, and then we are going to take again a decent sized dough ball and again dip it into the dry flour and make sure you make a ball like that. and just dip that inside the flour. Pop that to the side, pop that down there, actually pop that as well because I don't want it to sort of like spill. And all we're going to do is we are just going to roll out any shape, basically, not even a chapati shape I'm saying here, any shape, just roll it out. And what you want to do is you just, once you've rolled out any shape, I mean mine is more or less looking like a circle, but if you're rolling it out and it's not that, don't worry. Just take one end which is facing you into the middle like that, and then take the other end and just pop it over like that. And then all we're going to do is we're going to take this end and just make a square shape, and take this end and just pop that into the middle. So that will just give you sort of like a square shape there to work with. And then just pop it into some dry flour. And we are just going to roll it out. So basically just treat it like a pastry dough to make our square paratha. And this is probably one of the simplest paratha to make, easy peasy, and it doesn't need any butter inside it. It just goes on the outside, and that's how it is. So you have a square paratha here, and there we have it. Perfect if you can't make round paratha. So I'm going to move my camera over and we're going to cook this now. Okay, get the pan nice and hot again, and then we're just going to apply a little bit of butter just into the middle there, and just let that get nice and hot. And we're just going to take our square paratha and just pop that straight in like that. And again, same process, cook it for 2 to 3 minutes on each side. So let the bottom side cook first, apply a bit of butter on top, flip it over and cook it for 2 to 3 minutes, and then a further 4 to 5 minutes just to get it nice and crisp and golden brown. And I'll show you how it looks once it's done. And there you have it, guys. The square paratha is ready. Perfect. And I'm just going to take this off now and just pop it onto a plate. So let me plate all three up and show you guys exactly how they look. Right, guys, I have my paratha all ready here, and I've just served mine up with some desi omelette, which has green chilies, lots of them, and red onions in there. And I'm going to try, because they're all the same more or less, I'm going to try the Lacha paratha because it's the one that's on top and it's the most crunchiest, and paratha are always about the crunchiest ones, and it's lovely. Oh, it's so that flaky, it's just falling apart. Okay, that's perfect. I'm going to try some with some desi omelette now. So here goes. What is there not to love about a paratha with a desi omelette? Absolutely yummy. And really simple and easy to make. Not complicated at all. Perfect dish for breakfast, brunch, for suhoor, for sehri, you know, keeps you full for longer. Perfect. Now, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification to never ever miss a video from me ever again. I'll be back again next week with another one. So till then, take care and happy eating.